This is our part one of our episode 2 podcast of Preboot Theater 2016. We are the Seat Kickers.
Woohoo!
There's Brian,
Hey guys,
and I'm Jasper.
it's my co-host Jasper.
Oh, yeah. And before we go in and get our tickets and watch the movie, we just want to address some of the prior events that happened since our last episode of Martyrs 2008. So if you're interested in seeing that, go to our YouTube channel, go to our website, theseatkickers.com.
Also, post your comments. We have a Twitter account at the Seat Kickers.
We don't
Feedback
have
is always welcome.
we don't have any comments, but what we do have
It's heart. We have a lot of heart.
besides the heart, yes, we have that heart, but we do have a little data that we can talk about, discuss. On February 1st, we received our first YouTube thumbs up. For
Not from us.
I thought it might have been Brian, but it wasn't you.
Sorry, man.
It wasn't me.
I mean, I'm glad it was. Fortunately, it wasn't me.
But it was from our episode short from the long play of Martyrs, and it was the episode The Urkel Method.
Wow.
Now, next, thank you to whomever gave us a thumbs up. And thank you to whomever gave us the thumbs down. We have our first thumbs down.
Is it any coincidence? Well, also display unveil the other news. We had some international traffic.
I'm gonna guess from India, because we did see in the analytics someone from India watched the episode.
Is it a coincidence that we get our first traffic from India? We get our first thumbs down.
It was a long time coming. A long time
Right.
coming. Yeah. So
any other traffic coming from India? Namaste.
Namaste. Yeah. Peace be with you, right? Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck you if you're gonna put a thumbs down.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. India traffic. Yet that first subscriber for our YouTube channel is still up for grabs. Can you believe it, Brian?
Yeah. But still disappointing. It's still disappointing.
Right.
The news is we're spreading.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're still grassroots. Still.
And I did get some good feedback. It might have been a little hard to take because,
Truth always is.
The website needs some tightening up. Theseatkickers.com. And there's been some changes, so check it out. Now we're going to part 2. Buying the tickets. And this is just us talking about how we found the movie. So you can find the movie too. Rent it, buy it, borrow it, turn the volume down, listen to us while you're watching the movie. It'll be the perfect experience of a preboot. I bought the movie off Amazon. Electronic digital copy from Amazon. This is my first Amazon purchase. I have officially joined the 21st century.
Ever? This is your first Amazon ever purchase?
I think so.
Wow, good
Yeah.
for you.
I bought my first eBay purchase.
Yeah.
Almost a year ago, 6 months ago. And now this is my first Amazon purchase. Man.
Did you just get your first computer? 6 months ago?
Yeah. Cell phone. I sent out my first text last week. And then next month I'm setting the date away where I'm going to try to put an attachment on an email.
It's impressive,
So yeah, the world's my oyster. Watch out.
Yeah. Better late than never.
the reason I went to Amazon and not YouTube, which I did last time with the Martyrs, was because YouTube doesn't offer this movie. So
That's weird.
we're looking for Cabin Fever, the 2002 version, directed by Eli Roth.
Is there another version? It was released back in 2002 by
Yeah.
Eli Roth and Co. But I bought it. I bought that probably in 2002, 2003. I don't know if it was a direct-to-video movie, but I remember seeing it. I think on TV.
TV.
Yeah, maybe HBO or something, and then
Okay.
buying the DVD shortly after at like Walmart and their $2 bin. You know.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. We've my family. It's been in my family for quite a while now. Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah, it's the heirloom now. Nice.
Yeah.
It's our Christmas movie. But
It is hilarious. Anyone who hasn't seen it, I do recommend it. It's something that you probably catch on a Saturday afternoon, and you have no clue what to expect, and it really just blows your mind with some of its irreverence. But it's funny, I have to say. I do find it still very quotable. And
there are some funny parts, and if you're getting this far in our podcast, then you're going to at least hear us talking about it. Maybe not see it, but you're going to hear us talking about it. So,
oh, I highly recommend seeing it, highly,
we're-
because the visuals, are awesome.
there is a lot of fake blood all over the place. People. Well, yeah, we'll get there.
And leprosy.
But to answer I think I saw somewhere that it costs about a million and a half dollars to make, but the box
Million.
office was like 34 million. So
Wow, no kidding.
yeah, yeah. So that's why we get.
I don't know why I'm surprised, but
You were probably. Uh,
I don't think I didn't see it in the theaters. I definitely didn't. I probably caught it, if it came out in '02, I probably caught it in '03.
okay.
But wow, that blows my mind. That's got to be up there with Blair Witch. And the fact that they spent $1 million, it was probably on transporting everybody to Northwest Arkansas where they shot it, right?
Oh.
Sorry. It's not easy to get through there. It's not easy to get to Northwest Arkansas.
I
Right,
think I,
Jasper?
I think I saw they filmed some of it in North Carolina.
Ah, well,
They couldn't even make it down to South Carolina.
Oh,
Where,
jeez. I mean, like that's I don't know where $1 million budget came from then. Maybe it was the animal rental, or like the house. Probably had to rent the house or
yeah, the
something.
cabin rental. Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Or that sweet Chevy Blazer or whatever they were driving around.
yeah, maybe it was the beer they were drinking off set. Just threw that in there.
Well, we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Hmm.
So I have recently bought the movie. Brian has
As I said,
owned the movie for a long time.
and I do recommend anyone seeing this. It's a good way to kill 2 hours, and you always know, like when you quote a movie like this, it's got a bit of a cult following, and I always enjoy somebody who gets the reference.
All right. Well, the references will be understood by many, many more people who are going to buy this movie, rent this movie.
Listen to our podcast. Yeah.
Volume down on the movie, volume cranked with us. Let the laughs begin, let the quotes begin. And that moves us on to part number 3 in the theater.
Let's head inside.
Now we're in part 3.
Part 3.
Walking into the movie. We got our tickets. We've
Oh,
done our talking.
Super excited about this one.
Way to bring it. Yeah.
Well, actually on the DVD cover, they have a quote by Peter Jackson, the director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, who said he loves this movie.
Really?
True story.
He did horror movies.
Maybe
The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
that's not a horror movie.
Well, yeah, but then he also did I remember the one movie where there was like an alien giving the finger. I forget what it was.
Memorable then.
It was
Peter
one of
Jackson, folks. Peter Jackson.
yeah, it was one of those movie covers that just stood out, but
Uh,
not well enough to remember.
right, you just probably passed it every day in the movie store when you were stocking shelves.
Yeah, but it was the picture, not the title, that stood out. I can visualize a picture. All right, well, let's see if we agree with Peter Jackson because I didn't agree with his version of The Hobbit. So let's see if I agree with his.
So we got a running time of about an hour and 32 minutes here.
Hmm. And are we ready for a countdown to start this movie?
Let's do it.
So we're gonna start the movie. We're gonna do a full-length commentary. I'm showing that my movie is 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 3 seconds. And speaking of 3 seconds, let's count down to three and then say play, and we'll play it together.
All right.
Three, two,
One.
one, play.
Play. Sweet.
All right. Now we have birds chirping, Black
Mhm.
Sky Entertainment.
This movie was written by Eli Roth. Uh, it was actually from personal experience after a trip to Iceland where he got a skin infection, probably from one of their thermal pools. He developed this movie.
Right, from a ringworm infection, he said.
Ugh, gross. Which is just fungus. It's not an actual worm digging under your skin, but still,
Yeah, I mean, just the thought of it.
it's
Uh,
something you want to bring back from vacation. And it's contagious, believe it or not.
oh yeah?
And it is, yeah, because actually I used to work in an animal shelter where the employees got it, frequently because you'd be working with animals, so like runaways, strays, stuff like that. So anytime somebody got ringworm, it was it was kind of the same thing. You just want to avoid them at all costs. You kind of had this thought in your head that they were disgusting people who didn't have good hygiene.
Jeez, lock him in the
Yeah.
shed.
Oh yeah, if I had one.
Give him a warning shot on the ground first.
No, you just like it was taboo, and I walked around with nylon gloves on, nitrile gloves, or latex, whatever we had. I wore them all the time because I think I was the only person to come out of that, and I'm not kidding. After 3.5 years, I was the only one in the facility who didn't get ringworm.
You worked there for 3.5 years
Yeah, I did.
and no ringworm. Wow, there should be a
And I
plaque somewhere.
my my bus is still somewhere in the lobby.
B Nap, uh, tour of duty, no ringworm. You put down a lot of animals, but no
I
ringworm.
did. It was my job.
Oh no, are you serious?
Uh,
Speaking
I'm gonna
of
say
animal cruelty, this movie, I mean, we'll talk about it coming up, but there's just a weird portrayal of dogs. It's the two poles and nothing in between. You got the friendly dog, and then you've got a dead or vicious dog. But uh,
that might also be from Eli Roth's childhood experience.
it must be because it's just a weird. I don't know. There's things about this movie that I enjoy, but there's also things that are just like the dogs. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't sit well with me. Uh, so yeah, we're in the movie now. This is kind of kicking off the whole infection.
So we got a what looks like a drifter, homeless guy, kind of. He's got a bit of look at the stroll, man.
Yeah, he's got a coney,
Yeah,
wrapped.
for a homeless guy, he's got some swagger. Just strolling through the woods like he's a king.
Yeah, he's smoking his little cigar there,
His cigarello, little,
cigarello, and he's
and
chuckling.
nod to Eastwood there,
Now,
you know.
you've seen a lot of dogs.
Yes.
Now, doesn't that, would you just say, hey, something's not right? This dog's taking a pretty deep nap here.
No, unfortunately, my time with dogs, I would know that thing was instantly dead.
Yeah, this guy.
So the homeless man comes back to his shanty and finds his dog not breathing. But this dog is, horrible. Looks like a Muppet. Looks like something Jim Henson created.
And it's got a pump of fake blood.
So yeah, he's investigating his dead dog and gets sprayed in the face by a blood somehow. The heart was dead, but the blood the blood was still pumping.
So now we're going into our main characters. Now, this is part of the movie very profound, where
Really,
Serena Vincent
this just
screams to
caps
this young
right.
boy who says, "Don't go to don't go to college. It's a big mistake." And I just thought that was pretty profound way to start the movie. They don't really get back to it, but it seems like they're in college, even though Karen is talking about going to Stanford.
Maybe she's transferring.
Okay.
Maybe she's a townie. Most schools that are set in towns
Yeah.
do have come with townies. Like, you know what I'm talking about if you're in
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh boy.
But this is, I think, shot in the Carolinas, somewhere in the Carolinas. And this is our first shot. This is our first shot of Dennis, the
Dennis.
the mullet wearing skinny boy, who just sits on the porch of this general store. Doesn't say a word. Just stares off into the nature.
And he's got his grape soda.
Welch's. They don't really. I don't think they sell that very much anymore. But
No.
so our college grads or whatever the hell they are, heading off to a weekend in the woods, come upon this general store where Dennis is just chilling in the front,
Yeah, he's just hanging out.
hanging out, not saying a word. And you hear, with the confidence of a pedophile, Ryder Strong just rolls up, sits next to him, kind of demands interaction. Oh, and he gets it because Dennis bites him in the hand.
Doesn't
And he's
spill the
clamped on
soda.
there.
Doesn't spill the soda.
No.
Oh.
Oh, just interesting note about the actor who plays Dennis. Uh, yeah, Dennis is plays I don't know, we'll just say politely mentally challenged kid in the movie, but the actor is actually Matthew Helms. Matthew Helms is a black belt, but also a classically trained ballet dancer, and currently serves down in Georgia. I believe he grew up in South Carolina, so now he's in the Georgia Ballet. He dances all over the world. Humble beginnings from retard to ballet stud.
Yeah,
I have
he
to
he
edit that one out, but yeah.
oh, no, it's a raw deal. Now the biggest question though, ballet, mentally challenged, retarded, or whatever, what have you,
Mhm.
uh, is that his real hair, do you think?
Oh, well, if you grew up in South Carolina, I'm sure that's his real hair. You know.
It's no Kentucky waterfall. But
Oh,
speaking of water, this he says go drink, wash your hand out back in the stream. I mean,
this is Appalachia, man. Yeah.
I suppose there's, and then you have these two friendly dogs. The music doesn't really make it seem
Yeah,
like
that's
they're friendly, but
no, it's kind of random because I mean, like the way. So he's cleaning his hand from the ballet dancer's bite, and comes upon these two friendly dogs just out of nowhere. There's a lot of just scenes in this movie that don't seem to fit, jive, puzzle into the rest of the movie,
right.
which add to the humor. So Eli Roth, when he was editing, knew exactly what he was doing. And here is our first shot of, I believe his name is Mr. Helms or something. He's the general store owner and kind of looked like an effeminate Santa Claus. What do you think,
Yeah,
Jeff?
very effeminate. He's got, yeah, his voice is just that's the Fox piece or
He's got a bit of a lisp. He got a southern drawl as well, and he's got a physical appearance of Santa Claus. He's got the white beard. He's got blue eyes, long hair.
flannel though.
And he
He's not
gives them their first warning to like be careful when they go out in the woods.
right, and then he's just like, oh, never mind that. Get them their sandwiches. So we're seeing some late '90s, early
Oh, and
2000.
yeah. So, Mr. Helms, I'm sorry, to he just dropped the N word.
Now, was it ERS? I
Yeah. No,
right.
definitely ERS. And Eli Roth again, kind of like a questionable call to put that in the movie. Like where does it play with everything else except for the stereotype of an old Southerner, having a rifle above his general store counter for black people to use on black people.
You would think, and it comes back to it at the end of the movie, and it
Oh,
kind of
speaking of come out of it, I'm sorry. Coming back to it, here we go. Pivotal scene. One of the characters, one of the college kids, sneaks out of the store and then is apprehended by the sandwich maker and father of the tard, Tommy. Tommy catches the guy stealing a Snickers, makes him return it, and then politely sends him on his way.
Yeah, I mean, a Snickers in the pocket, probably already melted. And Bert, the guy who stole it, the jerk of the movie, I don't understand this character at all. He just he says, "Oh, I'm
Except,
so sorry."
I think he's the most important character, to believe it or not, because he sets off everything. He's the domino that falls first. But it sets the relationship between the townies, Tommy, Dennis, Mr. Helms, and these college kids.
You don't think the Dennis biting
Set the
Ryder
tone.
Strong,
Comes
the
comes into play later.
pederast Ryder Strong,
Just went
says,
right up to that kid, a strange kid, just hanging out, and then demanding his attention.
Yeah, well, all right. The the movie has shown the foreigners coming into this small sleepy town, and now they're trying to get to the cabin. There's already a little tension between them and the locals. And now we're going into the woods, and it seems remote. It
Very
seems like
remote.
they just like went,
You
miles
know,
and miles,
they
not
went
seeing
through the
anything.
woods, over a river. Yeah, they landed a cabin with a picnic table out front. Looks like a pretty nice setup.
And
And
there's so many neighbors around them. This seems like this is like the nexus, like the center point of this community, where
now
they just
note,
walk
yeah,
around and it always leads back to this cabin.
that's true through the interactions here. Notice the season that they arrive. It looks like there's plenty of leaves on the ground. You know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's definitely
Mhm.
leaf watching season and ass watching season also.
Oh,
So,
let's get started.
oh, we have
This
our
this
first
kicks off
skin.
the week.
Now, this is where no knocking, buddy. Come on.
Oh,
So
sock on the door. That's
Ryder
etiquette.
Strong, he's looking for it. He's like, "Oh, you guys are too old for me. Get out of here. Have fun." I don't understand it. So yeah, now we have our first sex scene, and Bert is creeping in the window with a pair of binoculars. Somehow he went from the back window looking with binoculars to down the house with a shotgun or a rifle.
I don't know how he snuck that in the car. He snuck a 22 rifle
It's not a
in the car.
22. That's a large shell caliber or large caliber
Uh,
rifle.
well, this is our first disagreement because that thing is tiny.
Yeah, but the sound it makes.
Well, they play with reality quite a bit in this movie.
Oh,
So the characters are split up. The main character's now heading down to the pool with Bert, the gun toter.
yeah, and he's there to shoot gay squirrels. It doesn't matter if they're gay or straight. They're stupid, so he's gonna shoot them. Oh, that's hot. Oh, thank you, Paris Hilton. This is a little time capsule. So yeah, Bert is off with his gun and his beer and his cigarettes to go hunt squirrels. Now we have Ryder Strong with Jordan Ladd. Do you have anything to say
And
about Jordan Ladd?
Jordan Ladd, My So-Called Life. That's where she was introduced to us. MTV's version of Growing Pains.
What
Jordan
character?
Ladd,
What
hmm,
character was she?
she was the friend.
Not like the wild friend.
Yeah, she was the wild friend.
Are you sure?
Here,
Oh, so we have breast shots. Do you have breast shots, Brian?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
We have, so some wild editing going from one group to another. We have a group having sex back at the house.
Yeah.
This looks pretty real.
And this is where she flips him over and goes for the old prostate exam. And he says sorry for some reason. And now we're at the lake, and we have Jordan Ladd and Ryder Strong. And Ryder Strong is pulling off this pose that he doesn't want to let go of.
He is pasty, so kind of realistic. Jordan Ladd and Ryder Strong. So the character Ryder Strong is from Boy Meets World. That's where most people might know him from.
Friends with Ben Savage.
Ben Savage. And I can't remember his name right now, but in this movie, his love interest is Jordan Ladd, and it seems like it's a secret that he likes her. She doesn't know that he likes her.
But I think she likes him also.
She might be not as into him, and she might be just into herself right now because she's not flirting back. She's just teasing him.
Yeah, but she proposes something just kind of strange. There's nothing wrong with kissing someone that you've known just to see if they're a good kisser. Yeah.
She's just teasing him. Typical. Typical.
All
Just
right.
playing around.
I guess so. But speaking of
Summer of love has started. Yeah.
Jordan Ladd and swimming and teasing, I guess, I know her best from the movie Club Dread, the classic
Club
Club
Dread,
Dread,
right?
where she played Penelope and
Penelope.
the love interest of Juan, the swimming instructor or the diving
No,
instructor.
that is a Broken Lizard Club's movie,
Yeah, that
right?
was now that is a true horror comedy. This is just that was more funny than it was trying to be scary, and I definitely like that one a lot more. Now
Hmm.
we're back. They kissed. He's like, so do you like me? Do you like me? I guess he's just kind of an awkward person. And
Around her, yeah.
she has the best line in the movie where she's just like, "Don't be gay." This is a time, a snapshot of time where you could make fun of mentally handicapped kids. You could make fun of calling people gay. Yeah, it was a wild, free world back then.
Oh, magical 2002. Anything went.
Yeah, it was just political correctness. It was
It was
still
all
in its
downhill.
infancy. So they kiss. The music is still eerie. It's still creepy.
Are you drinking tea right now? I just heard some pouring.
Oh no! Oh
Yeah,
no!
mister.
I
Yeah,
snuck it
mister.
into the theater. I snuck it into the theater.
You
I was trying to be coy
filling
about
the
that.
filling the flask in the theater. Back to the movie. We got our friend Bert, the rifle toter, who was just poking around shooting at squirrels and winds up popping our homeless our homeless gigolo here.
Where did he shoot him? The guy's holding his crotch as if he was
Yeah, it looks
shot,
like it got him in the thigh.
but he's walking
So
around all right. And this guy looks
this
rough. I mean,
right, yeah. After the blood spray from his dog, looks like he's caught a little something.
yeah, I mean, he's still got a swagger, but now it just looks like he's. Whoa! That's the second best line in the movie where he falls backwards and he's like, "Whoa!" Speaking of sneaking beverages into the theater, the worst is when you sneak a beer in
Mm.
and you think you're waiting for a loud part of the movie to crack it open.
You're waiting for that lightning and thunderclap to like
Yeah.
pop it open.
And you time it like just not right, and it's probably like the quietest part of the movie, and it's just all you hear is and
We've
when
all
you're
been.
sneaking beers in, usually it foams up. So
Yeah, so Jasper's he's giving everybody some advice out there. Time it carefully. Be careful of the movement when sneaking beverages in.
right,
It doubles for soda. Doubles for soda.
yeah, I guess so, but I mean, stay away from that sugar, kids. It's just as bad as this disease, whatever we're watching in the movie.
This is a flesh-eating virus. So earlier, Bert shot the homeless man, and the homeless man said he needed help. He wasn't feeling well. He needed some water. So our friend Bert, the gun toter, just walks off. Tells him he's gonna go get help, and then walks off. And then fails to respond. Fails to let anybody know that this homeless man is dying in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, straight up,
Just
what?
goes right on with his life.
Yeah, sociopath or something. I mean, and he's enjoying this marshmallow. Now, this is a contaminated marshmallow. If the Ryder Strong is right at the end of the movie. He's talking about the drifter licking the marshmallow or something. It doesn't. It makes about as much sense as this bowling alley story.
Yeah, this is another example of what is this doing in the movie. This story that he shared, they're sharing a campfire story, and he shares this horrific experience that happened in his hometown of a bowling alley being taken hostage. The whole employees, all the employees, and then murdered one by one. And this has no bearing on the movie whatsoever. This might be the horror point where they try to lure you in, but simultaneously they're showing our friend Bert, the gun toter, probably stoned, just staring at a marshmallow on fire.
Not yet, not stoned yet, because the Jason or Grim hasn't showed up.
Grim is the homeless guy.
No, that's Eli Roth's character with Dr. Mongo,
Oh, the dog.
the ex gamer. Anyway, back to the story. Now, Karen, who's Jordan Ladd, and Ryder Strong, I don't even know what his name is in the movie. They said they've known each other since seventh grade, and they made it very clear that they've known each other for seventh grade. Now she's captivated with this story. She's into it, and you would think if I knew you from seventh grade,
You
and
would know the story, right?
yeah, I think it would be pretty traumatic in someone's childhood that you'd probably hear this story, but she's hearing it for the first time here.
Well, I think he prefaced it by saying it was his dad. He was visiting his father, so it might allude to the fact that his parents are divorced.
Well, yeah, now she's like, oh, that's bullshit. But it's one of those plot things where it's just you probably would have known that if you knew each other from 12 years
Nah,
old.
listen. We've known each other a long time. There's stories from our past that we might not know on each other. Oh, that made no sense. Edit that out.
We can't just pick and choose what we're gonna edit out. This
No,
is
we have
full
to.
length commentary. This is
No, we have to.
walking
We edit
without a
that
net,
out.
walking high without a net.
So, Ryder Strong gets up from the fire, and he turns around and bang, there's a guy with his dog.
With a crazy soul patch. And this
Soul
is this
patch,
is
yeah.
Eli Roth. This
Yeah.
is the director, writer, director, with some
Producer. Yep. Writer, director,
producer,
producer.
ringworm survivor. He's playing this weird character who his put down is faced, and then I don't really understand, but this reaction where he pulls out this bag of weed is the most authentic group reaction of the ensemble here.
And he doesn't pull out just a little baggie. He pulls out probably about a pound out of his pocket.
I'd say half pound, quarter pound of weed. So we have, yeah, obviously fake goatee, fake sideburns, fake movie weed.
Can you tell from here?
Yeah, I think so. Well, there's nothing really. Oh, so
Just if somebody just showed up randomly out of the woods and offered weed, I don't know if I'd take it. I mean, A, it's illegal, but B, let's face it, we don't know this guy from anybody.
that's true. Well, that, we didn't really know each other until about, eighth grade. One time we were sitting in the woods and this guy, oh wait, no, I already told you the story. uh, so yeah, now they're just sitting around the fire, smoking some weed, and a little raindrop comes down, and this guy Grim, who's an ex-gamer from the Stanford area, I guess that would be Palo Alto. He's got $4,000 worth of stuff outside of his tent, so he has to hustle back. He tied his dog up, Dr. Mongo, but he leaves and he says, "Come on, Dr. Mongo," as if it's not tied up. So
Also, I think he called him Mambo.
Mambo. Okay, sorry. Oh wait, there he was untying him, looking
Yeah,
back at the camera. All right, all right, all right. So now
so
these
they're
guys
all
all have the,
they
you know,
they moved the campfire inside,
Jordan lads ripping some tunes on the acoustic guitar.
and it's split off into couples. So now Jordan Ladd and Ryder Strong are just hanging out by each other, and it looks like his name is Jeff, and we have Serena Vincent, I believe her name is her actual name, hanging out in the other chair, and then Bert just hanging out on the couch.
Just wanted to stick his hand down his pants, but he just can't commit. Talking about jerking off and a dog licking his ass. Another thing about dogs, just so weird.
Yeah, it's kind of a running theme through this.
I guess so.
Dogs, they do play a role to the end. Everyone has a friend like this guy, Bert. You know, this kind of inappropriate person that we just tolerate.
Now
Oh,
I don't want to name names. Here comes a drifter. He looks like shit, but who would be the Bert? I was trying to think of the same thing. I'm like, who is our Bert?
hmm.
And is it me?
No.
I mean, I see, definitely qualities. I'm definitely usually the fifth wheel when we go on these like outings.
So here we go. So like the drifter grifter homeless man has made his way to the cabin, knocks on the door, asks for help, and then recognizes our buddy Bert who shot him earlier. Now Bert shuts the door in his face and says, "We're not going to let this guy in." And
What?
here comes the paranoia.
Now you're talking about being like a little suspicious of a guy just showing up with a bag of weed. If this
I,
guy showed
and
up at the front door looking like he did, I'd be a little suspicious too.
right, and Bert has it right. He says, do you want him to come in here and touch your stuff, your douche, your soap? So
Going
at
straight for
least
the douche, yeah.
At least Bert has his head on straight. Now the homeless guy makes his way to the truck that they left the keys in, apparently.
Obviously, I mean, why not? The sweet Chevy Blazer. I mean,
That is
that's
a sweet car.
it is,
Yeah.
yeah, with the convertible back SUV, and they're trying to get the guy out of there. Oh,
Oh, so the homeless guy is now locked himself in the cabin, is just spewing blood everywhere. You know, he's just coughing it up.
coughing it up, throwing it up.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to get in that car. Oh man, even though he's dying, still has the wherewithal to avoid two attacks from Ryder Strong.
He's tucking and weaving. Tuck and weave, baby, tuck and weave. Yeah, we've got a butcher's knife and a can of Lysol or something. And Ryder Sean comes out with the torch, a little Frankenstein motif.
Which isn't stopping him, but he does light the homeless man on fire.
The guy went off like a match. I mean,
Well, it was all that hairspray got in his face. You know, the girls stood him up by spraying hairspray in his face, which then was used by was cause for the fire to spread so quickly by
right.
Ryder Strong and his torch.
And unfortunately for the drifter, the rain never really came.
He did just run off into the forest, with no attempt by them to follow or see if he's all right. They just kind of
And
let him like.
he has bad skills of recognizing dead animals, and he just couldn't remember stop, drop, and roll. Now, here's a weird scene with the honey. I don't know why this character, Ryder Strong, is playing with honey on his fingertips and just going right over the doily.
Well,
Like,
it's not his house. He doesn't give it.
yeah, I guess, but geez, come on, making a mess.
So now they return to the cabin and they just got again move on with life. This is
We see lightning, but no rain. That guy just cannot catch a break, and they're all sort of remembering their own
uh,
things of the
how some
events.
some people are completely unaffected. Our friend Bert the sociopath is passed out asleep in the rocking chair. The girls seem to be well, at least one of them seems to be affected. The others passed out.
Yeah, it's kind of a dream sequence montage of all a collective dream sequence.
I think the editing of this movie stands out the most. What we get shown and when, it just doesn't make sense. So now it's the day after, no visible signs of rain or that it rained at all. Everything's still pretty dry. Again, note that it look the trees are bare. This guy just he was on fire and he just ran off into the dry woods.
Didn't set anything on fire while they were worried about the campfire left out over there. Now, you were talking about the editing. Do you
Mhm.
think it's a good editing job or
Oh God, no. Well, it's just
seems
questionable. It's just very questionable. So now, at this part in the movie, the homeless man has found a home in the lake.
he found his water,
He found the water,
but it didn't looks like his last moment of life is to fall into the water because he is dead, face
and
down.
they are now trailing a pipe that leads right to the cabin. So the water that they're drinking is actually fed from the lake that this homeless man fell into, and the illusion is that the skin-eating virus that he was contaminated with is now in the lake, which is now in their drinking water.
Straight to the cabin. Ryder Strong has filled up a cup of water. He's bear clawing it, as they say in the service industry. He's got his fingers all over the drinking part of it. Puts it down. Now, Jordan Ladd, she is saying, something that's a little understandable.
You know what though? I mean, think about this. She was fast asleep last night, according to the editing. She was passed out. Now she wakes up the morning after with some guilt over what they did to the homeless man out front. Now she's having some trouble with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of understandable. I can relate to that.
Really. No trouble sleeping, but in the morning you wake up, hey, we
Well,
should
the morning, I'm talking about the
you're
morning.
not in the morning after like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. What did we do last night? Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, so now
He just hands her death. Yep.
he hands her the glass of water. She takes the tiniest of sips.
That's all it takes, Jasper.
I
Microorganisms.
guess, I mean, that's a very aggressive disease, or
Bacteria proliferates by the tens of millions.
yeah, but enough to get into the reservoir.
Doesn't take much.
Man, so this is a pretty crazy disease, even though how people get it is kind of confusing. That's clear that she got it from the drinking water, but later we don't really see how people. There's really no rhyme or reason why other people get it.
Oh, it's spread by touch. It's spread by body fluid. Now we have Jeff and Bert, the gun toter, kind of wandering around. Everyone's wandering around looking for help because the car is now so damaged they can't drive it.
Yeah, not far from their cabin is a full farm with a dead pig hanging up, and this is just a weird scene. I just don't. So I guess the pig is infected, although it doesn't look anything like anything else that's been infected. We have intestines that are coming out, but
Little yellow, yeah. So she's gotten a pig, only to find out that it's contaminated and no good.
so yeah.
So
Now,
I'm sorry, the woman gutting the pig turns to find that two onlookers, two strange men, have wandered into her barn, and she's completely unfazed and starts grilling them about this.
thinking that it's their fault that the pig is infected. Now, personal experience where I live, when I talk, I look like everybody down here, but when I talk, immediately forget whatever I just said. The first question that comes is like, "And where are you from?"
You're not from around these parts.
Yeah, you talk funny. Where are you from? Uh, Immediately, this woman should have known that these guys weren't from around the area.
Completely unfazed. I mean, if you were in your house, you look out in the front yard and there's just two strange men. You don't just start talking to them like you've known them all your life.
You did me
But
wrong.
and that they are privy to a conversation you've been having for a while.
Yeah, just hanging around pigs too long, I guess.
Hmm.
So now these Southern hospitality, and it seems like Eli Roth has something against the South. But she comes in, they're in her house, and now they
Covered in blood.
discover
She's covered in blood, by the way, from her pig slaughtering.
she has a nice black and white shot of her cousin, Bert, that looked like it was taken.
During the Civil War.
Yeah, but also the week before when he had his swagger on. In better times, Bert in better times, not face down in a reservoir, charred. So now they realize, oh wait, that's her cousin? Uh-oh, we're gonna get out of here. So even though they could go to sleep peacefully last night, they just can't hold up that facade and get
Guilt is getting to him. Yeah.
just get a phone call to a tow truck.
And they couldn't wait around because they were so worried that she would figure out that they had killed her cousin. This is an interesting shot.
Yeah,
We have the hottie, the movie hottie, paddling a canoe by herself.
a big canoe also, and
Yeah.
she's handling pretty well. That's not an easy thing. She knows how to work a canoe. Speaking of canoes,
Let it be.
you knew this was coming. Brian is a proud owner of a canoe.
Very similar to that one.
Yeah, except it's painted. His is it's an aluminum canoe. And how many times have you used your canoe, Brian?
Twice. Owned it for 5 years. I've used it twice.
Nice.
She paddles up on shore and sees remnants, kind of like evidence that people had been partying there, either between 1980 and then, because the radio
Yeah.
kind of antiquated.
Boombox, yeah. It was someone's time capsule that got washed up with, I guess, erosion. We have a butt shot from a vintage style jean cut that you don't really see too often anymore.
Now, and this kind of brings up an interesting point. So the actress's name is Serena Vincent. She's a former Miss Nevada Teen USA. Uh, she's very attractive. Her first role was in Not Another Teen Movie, I believe, where she appeared nude the whole film. And in this film, she has two sex scenes where she appears both topless, and I don't know if she shows any other skin. But if you read anything about this movie, it was a point of contention that she didn't want to become pigeonholed
Hmm.
as just like a skin actress, if you will. So
Right. I mean, she was very nude in Not Another Teen Movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed for one of those. Uh, I forget what the genre is, where they just make fun of a lot of movies in one movie.
spoof.
A spoof. Thank you. Uh, and Serena Vincent, yeah, sh I read the same thing. Thank you, Wikipedia. Uh, about she didn't want to show her butt, so they taped the sheets onto her butt during the second sex scene. I think.
Well, I didn't read that. I just read that she didn't want to become typecast like Shannon Elizabeth, where like every movie she was in, she had to show skin.
Right.
So it became a point of contention how much she was going to show, and
Here goes. We can get back to the Serena Vincent thing because there's more to talk about. But this is Brian's favorite right here.
this is everyone's favorite. There's just two characters who steal the show here.
This is Winston Olson,
Olson, the deputy.
Deputy Sheriff Winston Olson, who you might know from Independence Day as the younger child of Randy Quaid.
So Winston, Officer Olson, the deputy.
Deputy Olson. Yeah.
He shows up. He shows up the day after to record events from the night before because he heard there was a homeless man who beat up their car.
He just said there was commotion. Now you would.
Who tipped him off? Who do you believe tipped him off?
Well, all the close neighbors. You got the people. You got the pig farmer. You've got the 1980s beach partiers. Yeah, And then you're going to have another house where the woman just hangs out in her bed naked while the husband is just patrolling the property.
So, as anyone who's confronted the law the day after, uh, try to explain it to him. Except Deputy Olson, he doesn't seem to care.
No,
He's a partier.
yeah, he seems like he's kind of upset that he missed this party. Blood in the blazer, no matter.
Man, unimportant. He just sees the evidence he sees the beer bottles and stuff, and he's curious. He's more curious about what the girls look like and what they did the night before, how the party was. And here it comes.
Everything's fine. Have yourself a big 40. And she's just like, okay. So
So
yeah,
his advice was to just keep partying. Don't worry about the blood and the guy who was lit on fire and stumbled out in the woods.
yeah, and
And it's at this point the deputy convinces them that they need not worry about anything other than to continue the party, and that they should stay.
don't stop that party. This guy sort of looks like what's his name? Gordon Jonathan Gordon-Levitt?
Maybe related.
Maybe. A little like American Indian mix. I think so we have this kind of weird scene, but the whole time you're thinking, why is he wearing a helmet? And how did he get here? And why is there a bicycle parked next to a tree that we haven't seen before? There couldn't be any reason a deputy would come all the way out here on a bicycle, because this is way out in the woods. Are you reading the subtitles?
No, I'm kind of like just taking in this guy just really is an anomaly, and I'm thinking to myself, Eli Roth. Some of these guys are very accomplished actors. Some of these guys have maybe one or two things under their belt, projects. But then I think he grabbed like a bunch of locals from Appalachia and just threw them in the movie. And I'm trying to think, is this one? Is this one of them? As you mentioned, he has like a little Native American vibe to him.
No, he was, like I said, he was in Independence Day,
Mm-hmm.
the movie that's getting the unasked for sequel.
Ah, there's that bell. You really think it has that bell? Yep. See, the traffic bell. He's in the mountains. He's got a mountain bike that has that little bell on it. Bling bling. A little
Yeah,
comp.
yeah. So the deputy is riding a bicycle. So
Yeah, you have a little forecast of what's to come.
right. I mean, that's just one of those things where
Editing. Editing just makes no sense.
bring bring. Yeah. That's so now we jumping back into the movie where the glass of water is gone. She drank all that water. They're using contaminated hose water to clean the car, unless
That's cool.
unless they have another water source for the hose than the drinking water. But yeah, they're trying to clean up this car. Doesn't look like they're getting anywhere with that cleanup.
Yeah, 409 and some water. You're gonna need a little bit more than that to get internal intestine, blood, and all that stuff out of there from some brain fragments.
Now we see a loose Dr. Ombo.
Dr. Mambo has returned ownerless and looks menacing. He's growling.
Now, it's pretty obvious that there is no dog with the actors here. This is two different dates of filming here. That is not a 22. Those are.
All right. All right, I'll defer to you.
I mean, a
Not a 22.
22. A 22 clip is very small. Those shells are quite tiny.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a M16 clip or something.
So they M16. They Serena Vincent shot into the air. Dr. Mambo takes off. Mambo looks like a Malinois, Belgian Malinois. Anybody who knows dogs out there might know what I'm talking about.
Kind of looks like a German Shepherd, but.
To the untrained eye.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I defer to you in your in your latex wearing ways of.
Non-ringworm getting, yes.
I apologize. I defer to you. Okay. What kind of dog is it, Brian?
Belgian Malinois.
A Belgian Malinois. Is it like a German Shepherd?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's kind of not the preferred, but probably a popular breed for law enforcement or
Okay.
security force, guard dog. Very versatile. So at this point, everyone's kind of collected back in the cabin, trying to get their head around everything that's happened. This quick shot of a teacup that's empty.
And Ryder Strong is coming in with another glass of water.
Another glass of water, and Jordan Ladd looks like she's passed out on the bed. Oh, no, she's awake. Feeling good.
Unlike Martyrs, everything in this movie is consensual. So we don't have to worry about that. So she says she's thirsty. She's drinking more water. Ryder Strong is keeping her hydrated.
Mm.
So it's nap time, I guess.
She asks him to stay. She was just having a nap. He brings her some water. He goes to leave. She asks him to stay and cuddle.
Yeah. And he's been cleaning blood, still has his shoes on. But yeah, he gets right up in bed and spoons her.
Hmm.
Because that's what I like to do. I like to spoon girls who aren't feeling well. But yeah, that's just the kind of guy he is. Jeff has got this rifle, and he's keeping.
Now he's in sniper mode, trying to kill Dr. Mamba, who is just circling the camp, waiting for an opportunity to strike.
So just to give the audience, what time do you have?
Mhm. We got about 45 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm at 45:40. Uh,
Ryder Strong's you're about to see where he got his name, because he's about to pull a strong move on a passed out girl. Quick kiss to the forehead, and here we go, Predator style. So you see that his motives earlier might not have been so innocent with little Dennis on the bench. He's an opportunist, folks.
he's just working out his frustration from that point. Yeah, this is a sex cure-all. When you're feeling sick and not well, you might as well
Uh,
just have sex.
and everyone, like everyone knows a Bert, kind of a jerk, who immature, doesn't really fit in with the group, doesn't know the plan. We all have a friend like this guy, the opportunist.
I wouldn't call it. I mean, his character, he's kind of earned this, I think. I mean,
with,
she
with,
seems to be
with glasses of water.
glasses of water, his strong pose on the
And he stuck,
dock.
he stuck around since 8th grade.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
put in his time.
He's told some pretty dumb stories, ghost stories.
Mm.
Now he's got the hand down. He's doing the old DJ scratch on the on Jordan Ladd, and
Who it seems to have woken up and is kind of like enjoying it.
yeah, yeah.
So we won't call it sexual assault.
No, I wouldn't. But there's a little moisture, too much moisture, and ooh,
Mm.
there's bloody fingers,
Oh,
and it's not what you think.
oh,
It's to the side,
that's what you get
and this room is covered in blood.
all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, he didn't notice this. So now we have Jordan Ladd is infected with the disease. She's not feeling well. The sex cure all didn't work. That's the old remedy, just have sex. So she's going downhill quick.
So now they're faced with the dilemma of one of their friends, one of their own, is sick, and the question becomes to treat her or quarantine her.
Bert,
So Bert, the quick thinking Bert,
he's on
uh,
it. You're right. He
man,
is on it.
again, wants nothing to do with her.
Stone cold. He's just, he
He's locked. He's locked her in her room and barred everyone from helping her because they too will become sick.
this is where Jeff just loses it.
Or I think he gets it.
So we're at night, and now they're checking the people with the flashlight near the firelight.
Near a fire, so they're inspecting each other to see if they too have become contaminated.
It's like a group tick check or something.
Mm-hmm. Everyone in their underwear out front. Time for the nightly inspection. So they're wondering what to do with their friend who's now sick. How do they help her? No one ever thought of going to get help. The
Well, the
decision
car
was
won't start.
right, but I mean, like you drove in, you could walk out.
Oh yeah, I mean there's neighbors all over the place, but yeah.
So the decision was made to banish her to the shed, and she complies.
Yeah.
So they make a makeshift sleeping area in this tool shed out front.
Right. Never mind the rattlesnakes, copperheads, uh, poisonous spiders,
Dire times.
anything looking for a little warmth in this fall weather. But no, they just put her in the shed.
And if they just finished finals, why do you think it's fall? Well, maybe it was summer school? Yeah, so she's being escorted to the shed by all of them, weapons in hand, lights in hand. You know, they might as well have torches and pitchfork at this point.
She doesn't look too bad here.
No, she's not so bad. So it turns out it's a Dutch door. And to anybody who doesn't know that, it's split in half. So they close the lower half, latch it with a chain. They
Is that
chained her in.
is that what they're called? Dutch doors?
Yep, a Dutch door.
Because I always think of it as Mr. Ed, the old TV show.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
He was
talking about?
Dutch. Yeah, he was Dutch.
Oh, okay. Ed Verhoeven.
Edvard van
Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
Donka, donka. Yeah, I always think
It
of.
would be Danku. Danku.
Oh,
Not to be. That's Dutch, not German.
wow, wow.
Sorry. Yeah, you learned something. Dutch door.
Dutch
Thank you.
door, Donku.
Danku.
All right, wow. The education. What was the German Shepherd?
Dr. Mambo.
Yeah, what was the name of? Or what was the? It's not a German
Oh,
Shepherd.
Belgian Malinois.
Oh, okay.
Malnois.
Man, we're just getting the Frisian connection here.
Glad to help.
So now we're going back out to the shed. She looked pretty good. She's on a roller coaster of a sickness. She had
Well,
some peaks and
yeah,
valleys.
mostly valleys from here on out. So she had some bleeding on the legs. Her skin was starting to deteriorate around her pelvis.
Her cooch. It was in between her cooch and her pelvis.
Yeah, technical term.
Yeah, to use a nice, trying to get into the the dialect of the setting here.
So this is, psychologically speaking, she has a victim, and she's kind of accepted her fate.
Yeah, you didn't say they set up a sleeping pad, a blanket, but you didn't say they gave her a pack of smokes too. So
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. So now they show some light on her face. And, she's been in the shed for a little bit. They're feeding her out there, kind of like a prisoner, where they just open the door and shove a plate in.
yeah,
And
they didn't give her the aloe vera tissues because she's got the tissue burn on her nose pretty bad. Here's just a house where you can just walk to in the dark with just a pretty dim flashlight.
I think that was the house that they were at earlier with the 1980s partier beach.
Oh yeah.
So Ryder Strong goes to get. He does actually find somebody goes to get help.
Well, these guys do seem like partiers. He's creeping in the window.
He's got a bat with him too. He's got a flashlight and a bat.
And this woman putting candles out naked in bed.
In the privacy of her own home.
Pretty attractive. Waiting.
Now he's just caught up staring.
And this guy just comes out in a robe, walking the house, just doing his laps around the house at night, while his wife is getting warmed up. He has a shotgun. Man, these guys are partiers.
Yeah, they're just in the wrong. Appalachia, people don't like visitors. You gotta announce yourself. You can't just run up to the window.
And just stare in there with the bat. Yeah, it does look a little suspicious.
So he jogs back to the cabin. What, like it seems like before when they were looking for help, they had to like row across the lake. They had to, travel over farm, wood, stone walls.
Like
Now,
hitchhike
now he
for
just it
3 days or
it was
something.
it was a quick jog to the guy's house next door.
Wasn't even winded. You know, not even a sweat.
So at this point, they're starting to deteriorate as a group. Jeff has taken the mentality that he doesn't want to get sick, doesn't want to have anything to do with these people, and for somebody who's dying, they're really not putting too much effort into trying to save her.
Bert, just to show you what kind of character he is wearing a Ron Jeremy T-shirt. Serena Vincent, I don't think there's a scene in this movie where she's not wearing a full face of makeup. Now, when you're saying Serena Vincent is pretty attractive, she's attractive, but I can't completely agree with that.
You disagree?
I don't know. I just
Didn't you just before admit that she was one of your favorite parts of not another teen movie?
no. I said I liked the movie. She was, she was just a nude person walking around. It was a funny gag, but she didn't really make or break the movie. I just kind of enjoyed it. Now we have Dr. Mambo just running loose again, getting scared away by this gun. That gun's not going to work forever.
No, yeah. I mean, like you see the cartridge. How many bolts are in there?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're disagreeing about this gun. I'm waiting for you to tell me about some sort of.
Never-ending clip that they have. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
magic.
yeah. I mean, must have been your military time that I didn't know about. Your
I
eight
served
years in the service, yeah.
in Germany.
Oh, is that where you learned all the Dutch stuff? The difference between thank yous?
Yeah. So back to the movie. They've got the car started because I think they just finally figured out they have to turn the key.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was doing wrong. Oh, shit. So now they're gonna. Oh, that was some high tech security. Just a chain over a nail. Oh man. They went back out to the shed. They're gonna get Karen, the Jordan Ladd character. They're gonna take her to town. Her
To get some
legs
medical.
are just bloody from top to bottom. Bert, he just exerted himself a little too much with that little trot. Now he's sick.
They did show him drinking some water the night before. Now
Even
he's
though
coughing up. He's coughing up some blood.
even though he said he was only going to drink beer for the whole weekend.
So
Man,
now he knows he's infected.
now we get a crotch shot. Oh,
No,
Bert, I don't know if that's the sickness or just something else, Bert.
they've been scratching too hard.
Ugh.
His damage is not so bad. So they're trying to get Karen to the truck where Bert is having a meltdown because now he knows he's ill. He's contaminated,
He is sick.
but he's not showing as bad as Karen.
No, he's freshly sick.
He's, pull it together, man. Pull it together.
Jeff is bringing his luggage and everything. Everyone else is ready to go. Jeff is bringing his night pack.
And so he won't get in the car with Karen, and I think that's a wise decision. From somebody who didn't get ringworm, that's how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, why don't they just leave Karen there, go to town? Ooh, Karen just something about this, something about
That
this
truck.
blazer. Yeah, something about this blazer just like ugh, makes me sick just to look at it.
And
And
she's the
just,
second person to throw up blood into the cab after they just cleaned it. I would be a little upset.
I mean, they did pretty well from what it was looking like. They got even the seats cleaned.
Hmm.
But yeah, Bert reveals that he's not feeling well, that he's sick too. So this is where the group really splits up.
Hmm. So Bert is trying to galvanize everybody to, go get help, but then decides to do it himself. He takes the beat up car with covered in blood and he's going to go to town and get a doctor. I think They put Karen back in the shed. Wise move, by the way.
Are you seeing that? I see her on the ground on a mattress.
Flashing forward.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
the end result is they put her back in her dirty area. Jeff makes the wise decision, life-saving decision of not helping, but not only not helping, uh, he's gathered all the beer he could drink,
A
and
12 pack. Yeah.
he's walking off on himself by himself.
Now you say walk, but he runs off, and this is the silliest looking run I've ever seen.
So he announces his ideas that he doesn't want to get sick, he doesn't want anyone near him, and since he can't trust anybody else in the group, he's going to save himself by. Yeah, Jasper's right. It's kind of a weird gait as he kind of strides off into the woods with his beer.
Yeah, he's holding 12 beers in one arm, and he's got a tissue over his nose in the other.
And they don't know how it's being transmitted, so he's kind of doing the right thing. He doesn't know if it's airborne.
He doesn't know if it's airborne. He doesn't know it's waterborne, but he's doing the right thing. I mean, he's on top of it.
He's covered his bases.
Now here is the late '90s long sleeve shirt with the quintessential bar
How many of those did you own?
At least two. At
Too
least
many
two.
to count. You mean too many to count?
Two. It was too legit to quit, you know.
You probably had one for every day of the week.
Oh yeah, I remember there was a green jacket
Yeah.
that had the bar, and
Yep.
somehow the old Sessions borrow.
The Sessions borrowing plan.
I think Tobe might still have that in Singapore right now.
Oh, you're kidding. It was a reversible jacket that I bought. I lent it to your mother because she's going out for a walk, and I was like, here, take this. Don't be cold. And I never saw it ever again. Oh, wow. So.
Okay, here's that. There was you saw that her butt, the
What's
sheets are sticking onto the butt.
Mm-hmm. So her boyfriend just ran off into the woods with beer and said he didn't want to get sick. So what does she do? She takes Ryder Strong right to bed.
Yeah, they had sex. Ryder Strong. She
So Ryder
said, "I'm
Strong
clean, don't worry."
he finally had sex. So what does he do? He goes to the bathroom and just pours Listerine all over his balls. And spoiler alert, this doesn't work. I'm sorry.
Now,
Cepacol is just alcohol, and it will kill things on the surface, but anything that was returned, internal, it's not going to kill. I'm sorry.
totally topical. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Serena Vincent. Now, let's just lay this one to rest. She is showing her boobs a lot in this movie.
Yeah, more than a couple scenes. Yeah.
Now, but she won't show her butt.
I'm sorry. We have
All
to
right.
pause
We'll
for
pause
the
that.
best scene in the movie. Bert pulls up to the general store that they stopped at initially, finds Dennis
Still sitting there.
Still sitting there, hanging out with the mullet.
No grape soda. There is a sign that says "Do not sit next to Dennis." Bert he's following the sign.
He's just hanging out in front of the truck, kind of in the road. And here it comes. Pancakes.
Ballet.
Pancakes.
Black belt.
You're about to see both.
Nice.
Here comes art. This is just jump kick. Mullet is flying everywhere.
Look at that hair just flowing.
Oh, nice form. So Dennis goes apeshit off the. Here's the editing.
He's going for the bite. He pulls the hand out this time.
This is probably my favorite part of this movie. For the editing, Dennis realizes he did something wrong.
Oh man, Dennis drew blood. First blood.
He bit deep. Is it a boy or a girl? Look at that. So what happened there, Jasper? Can you break that down for anybody who's now watching this who's watching this right now?
All right, I'll do my best. Try to be quick. Bert pulls up to the general store. He doesn't have a good relationship with the guy who caught him with the Snickers bar.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I need a doctor." The guy says, "Just wait right here. I'll go get you a doctor." I guess there might be one inside. Dennis doesn't say a word this whole movie. And then when the dad goes inside, He said, pancakes,
Over and over, over and over.
pancakes.
Just starts shouting the word pancakes, and then goes into this physical fit of, just like this, puts on this performance.
Yeah, he goes into his karate kata. He shows off his skills, does like flips and kicks, and pulls out Bert's hand, bites till it's blood.
But notice Bert didn't defend himself. Yeah,
Oh
that's where
no,
I say the editing comes in, where you have one scene where uh, he's putting on that performance, and then all of a sudden he's rushing towards the next scene. He's rushing towards Bert, and then in the very next scene, he's got Bert's hand and he's biting it. So Bert, knowing everything was coming, didn't defend himself at all.
no. I mean, he's been on point with with the gun, scaring away the drifter, shutting doors on sick people. But when a kid comes flying at him, he can't pull his hand away.
Could
So
not defend himself. So uh, Dennis's dad now realizes that his son might be sick, and that's Lucille's problem. We don't know who Lucille is, and so his dad just determines that they have to die because he got his kid sick. So he grabs a rifle and his two hillbilly buddies, and they go after Bert in a car chase back to
Bert,
the cabin.
Bert just flips out. Yeah, I mean, he must be real far away because this cabin's so remote. So he just the blazer finally breaks down. The duct tape as the grill didn't work, and now Bert is running through the woods being chased by.
Dennis's dad and two buddies, and one of his buddies, Baby Huey, in the back there has like a box. Looks like a jewelry box. The kind that
This,
when you flip up, the little ballerina pops up in music plays.
yeah, man, this is just so stereotypical of. I mean, it's just come on. I mean, this is
It's
a
a hillbilly
pretty
gang
bad.
fight.
Yeah, this is just pretty biased here. Now, Ryder Strong is just walking around. Everything's, within.
Decided to go for a hike with the rifle at this point. And
It's,
notice the timeline here. So Ryder Strong is with the rifle, has found what looks like a body floating in, on his hike. He found a body floating in a small pool of water, and decides to poke it with a stick.
yep, that's a dead body.
Hey,
Oh.
Mister, you okay, Mister? Oh,
I'm a
revelation
lifeguard.
time.
Oh, and he falls into the knee-high water with the body. Can't get out. The ladder is made of wood, which
The
doesn't make
ladder,
sense.
the ladder broke,
Flimsy ladder.
causing him to fall in. Yeah, it breaks a little bit more. So again, timeline. He's here with this dead body. His friend Bert drove back to the cabin, had a little freak out, ran into the cabin. The three, we'll call them locals, pull up, and you could see that Bert's car is in front. They block him in, and they're approaching the cabin. Meanwhile, Ryder Strong with the rifle is nowhere near the cabin.
Right. Well, he just had sex with Serena Vincent,
Who's in the cabin?
who's in the cabin, and she's infected. And I guess Ryder Strong isn't infected, but I would say he is now since he.
Oh, he's got to be now. So he also noted that the dead body was in the reservoir.
Oh yeah, and these guys are the worst hunters ever. All right, so it's just like a kind of a confusing chase scene. Let's just all right. Here we go. Now we have a leg shaving scene.
And time to stop. And she's a vain person.
Yeah. Well, people are dying. I hear a shotgun blast. Might as well shave my legs.
And the writer of the movie, like, what the heck? So now you see Ryder's his fingerprints on her back to show she might feel those. I don't know. She doesn't seem to.
right, and she's crying.
These giant scabs on her back. She's decided to shave her legs amidst all this chaos. Her friend Karen is in a shed. Oh,
She still has
her,
makeup on in the bathtub, so she's just ripping skin off. But here's our last breast shot of the movie. Those are obviously fake breasts. She doesn't want to show her ass, but I guess she's just trying to get her money's worth with the breast scenes. He doesn't mind showing her breast. Is that, am I,
Yeah, I think you're correct.
she
You know?
draws a line, no ass shots. But yeah, you can show my titties as much as you want. So she gets a, a red robe, which matches her bloody legs perfectly.
Runs out naked, and so she heard a gunshot. She runs out of the cabin. Smart.
She
Mr. Mambo.
she sees Mr. Mambo on the porch of the cabin, but instead of just going back into the cabin, she decides to try to make it to the shed.
The sh-
Doesn't make
questionable.
it.
Questionable.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh, Notice also that the three locals chasing Bert, one of them leveled the shotgun and shot and fired.
uh-huh.
What do you think he fired at?
Birds in a tree.
Yeah, because they don't really show you Bert at this point, so you don't know his fate.
You do see a
Right,
foot in a sandal, a flip-flop.
it looks like salmon tartare there, and
Ooh.
then Ryder Strong finds.
Dr. Mambo completely ate Serena Vincent except for her foot. Now he's going for more. I mean, this dog is one hungry dog. Ryder Strong finally kills Mambo, Dr. Mambo.
Kaboom! With a shot. Nice. There's a nice serene shot of a lake there,
The only thing was missing were birds flying from a tree.
and he's got a gun. He now finds Karen is still alive in the shed, even though her face has been eaten off by Dr. Mambo.
Yeah, I mean, she's still alive. It's just kind of weird. So Ryder Strong, even though he has the rifle,
Makes the yeah
he
questionable
finds
decision.
he finds an ice pick, and he's going to brain her.
That's a shovel, my friend.
What?
That's a shovel.
Looks like a pick.
Uh, it's a shovel.
Okay, it's a shovel. It was just the angle. It was a brand new shovel, never
So
used.
he brains her a couple, one, two, six times, seven times. A little overkill. Fade to red.
And rather than saying the movie title, we get the poster shot here. So now he's packing up. Oh, Bert finally made it. He was running circles.
Timeline.
Here we go back to your editing point.
Yeah, just the circular story. Drags Bert inside. The locals are hot on their trail. Maybe about an hour later, he still has the jewelry box and his apron on.
And these guys are just walking very deliberately. They're not in a rush.
That guy kind of reminds me of Ron.
The middle one, the father.
Didn't even have to say, yeah. It's the flannel. That's the flannel that does it.
I guess.
So they approach the house that they parked in front of like an hour earlier.
I guess they chose to walk in the wrong direction. Well, they backtracked. They learned their lesson. They're creeping up to the front door, the three of them. The guy's holding his box with the apron on. Old baby
Right,
Huey.
so Baby Huey gives the nod, the go-ahead order. We have Stretch here kicks in the door.
Bert couldn't even land a shot.
Couldn't lift the rifle. Oh, but then Ryder Strong retaliates.
He does a death blow to the face with a shovel. Sticks baby Huey in the head with a screwdriver in the ear.
Oh man, but don't you want to know what was in the box?
I kind of want to know what's in the box.
What's in the box?
Easy, easy, Brad Pitt. If it was Gwyneth Paltrow's head, I'd be so happy. But
I want to contact Eli Roth just to know what the hell could have been in that box. So Ryder Strong goes full on sociopath, psychopath, and just kills the remainder of the people.
yeah, I mean, he kills the people. He's running now, but I'm gonna look for Jeff just to tell him that he killed his dog or something, and not to drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
this is just kind of a weird scene. I mean, I guess Eli Roth's
Com-
like, I need to be shown in half.
comes right comes upon a cave with a light out of it. This was the cave where he had $40,000 worth of equipment just hanging out or something.
I guess it was his spelunking equipment,
Ah,
cave diving. So now, for some reason, this cave is backlit. There's a light source at the back of this cave. Isn't that kind of weird?
that is definitely weird. Definitely cause for suspicion. I don't know if I would go towards it, but curiosity would have got me too, I'm sure.
Yeah, but when he was Ryder Strong is, I guess, just investigating the cave, trips over Eli Roth's character Grim, who is rotted in half. The top
Do
half
you think?
doesn't look too bad though.
No, pretty well intact. Wonder if Mambo did that. Mongo.
I don't know. I mean, I guess he didn't like his taste because he ate Serena Vincent whole and he ate her entire body except for the foot. Went after that. I mean, that's the hungriest dog I've ever even heard of.
Ravenous.
Yeah.
Ravenous beast. Ah, look, Ryder Strong, and again, leaving the key in the ignition, comes upon the locals truck. Tommy's dad. No, Tommy's the guy. Dennis's dad.
Pancakes. Pancakes.
Why? And what was the significance of yelling pancakes?
I don't know. What
Ah,
now this
it's
is ugh. So in the stolen truck, hits a deer, and this is like the worst animatronics ever. We have deer legs in the windshield, and rather than just getting out of the car, he has to reach down for the shotgun that's just left in the or is that the rifle?
that's a shotgun. That's a looks like an elephant gun, to be honest.
Blows the fakest
Ugh.
looking deer out of the car, gets covered in blood.
Just licked his lips.
The hunt is real.
He's now got a taste, folks. He's gonna go rogue. He's just gonna have this intense bloodlust now.
Like Jack Nicholson from Wolf. Where's my Michelle Pfeiffer? Where?
He's just gonna take off on foot at this point and just track down a live deer.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, see, there he goes.
without a windshield, it's not legal to drive that truck. So it's a good call. Now we have Party Guy, and I realized that this deputy ran into this party. He actually found the party that was happening, so he's in his element. He's having a good time.
And in walks the party man, who ironically breaks up the party.
Now, if this guy walked in compared to the guy walking in with a bag of weed, I'd definitely be much more suspicious of a guy covered in blood
And let's just bring up,
asking
yeah,
where the tow truck is.
it does bring up a point. I mean, like how you react to somebody in distress as they run up on you completely says who you are as a person.
What does it say about these people?
I think they're handling it pretty good. No one's freaked out. I mean, obviously they're concerned, and as the deputy too.
Deputy with the pinky ring. Wow. Yeah, these guys are just.
Everyone's just kind of handling this really well. This guy covered in blood. I mean, before it was just half his face, but now it's his entire face.
Yeah.
So he took what little blood was on the right side of his face and smeared it all over the left side, Braveheart style.
Yeah, he did a slip and slide with the deer as the mat.
He just buried his face into the shotgun wound of the deer.
He's sick now. You know he's sick.
So he just coughs up a little blood, or maybe he just sneezed. The party goers are asking the deputy to shoot him.
Right. The guy's playing his harmonica, swallows his harmonica. I don't know how that's possible. The dude somehow swallowed his harmonica
Well, he just got
the hard
so-
way.
So as Ryder Strong approaches, one of the kumbayars, picks up a guitar and was going to smash him in the face with it to keep him from coming any closer.
Hit Ryder Strong.
But again, yeah, Ryder Strong, just like the homeless guy, I think the flesh-eating virus might make them stronger.
Here's the rain. It's actually raining now. You can't see it really, but the rain finally came.
Yeah, Ryder Strong just went homicidal, killed the guitar player and the guy with the harmonica. And another funny scene because he's slowly choking on the harmonica and making music at the same time.
How the hell
Ah,
can you swallow it like that without? It's just such a weird, random idea of having someone swallow a harmonica whole like that. Now we're in,
so
the busy streets of this rural
of
town.
of Appalachia, 2 cars going by is busy by those standards, you know.
It is, and you got a truck coming. He doesn't
So like
s-
a
he doesn't see it, just like he didn't see the deer. Man, this guy needs a pair of glasses. Passes
He's
out
got
on the road. Luckily, the truck has some good brakes. Locks him up. Plenty of
why would
room
he
to
have to?
spare. Plenty of room to spare.
Yeah, because he was honking, right? He was honking, so he obviously saw Ryder Strong
That's an awesome
hanging out.
scene. The truck driver drops him off at the door of the smallest looking hospital I've ever seen, and the
Actually,
guy
looks like a veteran's home.
oh, okay, and the guy with the wheelchair comes up close and then looks at him and turns around, and then all right, sorry to
Meanwhile, there's a guy just sitting there looking at his corpse just hanging out.
now Ryder Strong is having a flashback of his fun-filled weekend.
His 3 scenes of interaction with Karen.
Oh, to go from the kiss scene to the face without lips. And someone cleaned up Ryder
Yeah,
Strong pretty good.
he's now clean.
And he is infected. Now, in this scene, he talks about someone licking Bert's marshmallow. Or I might just be imagining things.
I think you might be tripping.
I did put this movie on a couple times before falling asleep, and that was just a bad idea. I had some strange, strange dreams. He looked like Bert's marshmallow. Oh, okay. The Bert marshmallow. I get it. I get it. He's talking about the drifter. He's being interviewed by a doctor and the sheriff, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Two
He, know,
doctors and a sheriff,
he knows the
and
deputy.
he's incoherent. Yeah, his words are not making sense to anybody in the audience. Of course, he makes sense.
Right. But the sheriff, who's wearing a hat that says sheriff, luckily for us, calls his deputy, who's bandaged but driving. He's okay. And this is kind of an ambiguous scene. Who's in the back? But the deputy has Ryder Strong in the back of the car, and he's driving him somewhere. But the coolest part of this is that he's not in a bicycle anymore. He got
He's got a car.
he got a
He
car.
got promoted.
But maybe we know why he's riding a bicycle because he's drinking a beer. Well, a big beer.
This kind of paints rural America very poorly.
Ugh, it's just
Can't trust the police. Can't trust the locals.
can't trust the beatniks playing guitar.
No.
Man. So
The
Jeff
crescendo.
drank all 12 beers, I guess, underneath some kudzu plants,
Kudzu, for anybody who's not from the South, is just like an ivy.
which actually came from Vietnam.
Viet fucking Nam.
So yeah, he's under kudzu, walks out, stumbles out, going past the lake.
So, yeah, continues on his journey. And at this point, like he walked away from everybody thinking that they were going to infect him. So he walked away from ground zero.
Okay, now we have. Doesn't make any sense at all. Why would you come back to the lodge?
Unless he was curious what happened to his friends.
I guess. I mean, he just has a pang of remorse, or maybe he left some beer. He's just like, oh,
Yeah, it could be.
I need to, no pun intended, lick the hair of the dog that bit me.
But also, I mean, you just drank a 12 pack of beer, right?
Hmm.
You'd probably be pretty thirsty for water,
Yeah.
right? So you figured it would be his undoing,
Yeah.
drinking all that beer. So he returns back to the cabin, does a quick scan, finds everybody dead, all the blood everywhere, bathroom, finds Bert dead in the living room, gun on chest. Excuse me, by the way.
The bathtub is a mess.
Oh, it went from shaving her legs, he just like spurt blood everywhere.
Bert, you might think, or Jeff, you might think he's upset about his friends dying, but I think he's more upset that he's not going to get the deposit back on the cabin rental. He's just like, oh my God, I'm never going to see that money again. So this cabin is in ruinous state.
And
Jeff is,
this is a popular trick by story writers, that to make a person less likable, they kind of make them arrogant, or and they somehow make it deserving in the audience's eyes of their fate.
now, would you say Jeff is deserving of what's to come?
No, not at all. So Jeff walks outside. Jasper can explain this, but uh, before he walks outside, he's very happy that he made it, and it shows no remorse that his friends are dead. No guilt.
None. He made it. I did it. I'm alive. I'm alive. And here's the sheriff just mowing him down. Nice, nice death scene with the squibs, right? With the blood squibs.
Yeah, good reaction. Everybody's good shooting too, by the way.
Oh yeah, they just body shot after body shot. A little, nothing like a after after firing squad cigarette. They're gonna burn the bodies. Deputy has lost his car. He doesn't have his own car. And now they're gonna go in
So
the
they,
house. I don't know what they're gonna do in the house.
I think they're gonna burn the cabin down too,
Okay.
which is the sanitary thing to do, believe it or not.
I don't know if Smokey the Bear would agree with that. Or should I say Smokey the Clown?
I think the CDC might though.
Now, this is, I might be a little hesitant about drinking water in the future. Just, think about it, especially with the Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, that's a good example.
I'm
It's
not
actually
even,
very relevant too. Very relevant because cabin fever comes out shortly, and that's a perfect example of how things can spread.
yeah, don't trust the water, but trust less the kids making lemonade who get their lemonade water straight from the stream.
From the creek, right out
Yeah.
back.
Uh, so yeah, they're selling lemonade out here, and so now everyone's gonna get infected. We have the old man,
You know that
Father
the
Christmas.
sheriff looks like black people, but the sheriff looks like the guy from Police Academy,
That's what I
doesn't
was
he?
gonna say. Yeah. Who kept on going to the Rusty Bolt?
You mean the Blue Oyster?
Is it the Blue Oyster? Yeah. Okay, now here we go. Here's the rifle,
That
and
was for quote unquote the niggers. That is a mighty scope.
now this is not fair. This is not fair because in the beginning of the movie, he said ERS.
Hmm.
Well, at the end of the movie, just to like play on the stereotypes and try to like smooth everything over with a little slapstick, he says AS. Ers versus us.
It's a good observation.
It's not. Here's Steven Seagal right there. That's a strong ponytail. Uh, it's that's what I just find with this movie is like the only thing that is missing is a slide whistle at the end. Just
And
because
it's funny because they're as the credits roll, they actually they give credit to Dr. Mambo. Dr. Mambo is actually listed in the credits.
all right, well, he had a pretty intricate part, more intricate part than Jeff or Eli Roth's character. But with this whole like racism thing and just like a play on it and everything.
Hmm.
I mean, God bless 2002, but it's not. It's one of those jokes that's just not fair. It's one of those. It's kind of playing with the audience's sincerity. I don't know. Something just puts me off about that whole sequence. Because if you're
In what direction do you think it was unfair to black people or unfair to
the audience,
the audience? Oh, okay.
because you're doing the stereotype, and I guess word choice is pretty important because the way he says it in the beginning of the movie compared to the way he says it at the end of the movie.
Kind of paints a different picture because in the beginning it made him sound racist.
Right, and the music was like eerie music.
Hmm.
And then at the end of the movie, here comes some black people. He runs inside, grabs his rifle, and then the joke is that it was for them because he fixed it. He put the new scope on it. But at the
Yeah,
end,
yeah, he was cool with them all.
he's like, "What's up, my niggas?" And it was just the most awkward handshake I've ever seen.
Yeah, racist Santa turns out to just be Santa.
Yeah, yeah. He's making presents for everyone. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't Yeah, it kind of leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah,
But this whole movie was so now that you got the credits rolling, this whole movie, the overall takeaway, Jasper, for me was that the editing and the story are just disjointed, and where it picked up and where it told to tell the story from, and then
mhm.
it would jump around and then jump back. Really didn't respect the audience too much.
I agree with that. I also thought the what I took away from it was the music. It worked at the beginning. It was an original score, a lot of string instruments. It painted like a mood to it, kind of a frightening tone. But then by the end, they kept on using it to like as jokes also. So
Well,
it just kind
yeah,
of lost its strength, and at the end, it just kind of became annoying.
I like the jokes. I actually think if you take the horror aspect of this movie, if you don't go in there thinking it's going to be a scary movie, you look at it like it's a comedy.
Uh-huh.
That through the editing and some of the storylines and pancakes. Come on, it's actually a pretty enjoyable, entertaining movie.
I might sound weird. This might sound weird, but if I had to choose, I think Lionsgate did Martyrs also. If I had to choose, I'd choose Martyrs. Ah, word. I didn't get that far. That's not fair. That's not fair. Shame on you. I would actually choose Martyrs.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, I, I, I'm a huge fan of comedy. I mean, that was probably my favorite. I like comedy horror, like Club Dread we were talking about. Not many people liked it. I thought Bill Paxton's role really Coconut
That's
Pete.
for
Coconut Pete.
for another time, but yeah, that one is more comedy, less horror.
Right.
Where it really that's kind of again that's a spoof. Whereas this one, I think, tried earnestly to convey some scariness, some fear.
Right. This is a horror comedy.
Where the comedy's kind of just subtle.
Yeah, just kind of
I don't know how you
there
make.
were funny parts. I thought the guy who played Bert, he he kind of pulled it all together.
His entire character was a comedy.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah, he stayed pretty true to his character. Ryder Strong, man, I felt bad for him just playing like the awkward guy
I don't see why, man. He
who's
got a
used as
piece
a
of both
sex toy here and there.
got he got a piece of both girls. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but
And
he was used
at
as a
the
pogo stick pretty much, you know? Jeez.
okay,
He was used
yeah,
as a sleep pillow
oh,
and as a pogo stick. Jeez.
and so Ryder Strong, I think he got the best out of this movie.
His career did it.
I don't think anyone suffered this movie and came out okay. Even Eli Roth might have come out the best.
Yeah, I mean
Or
he has a
our little
pretty
Dennis, like the martial artist ballet. he seems to be doing pretty well in his career.
Yeah, he might have come out. I think the Racist Santa Claus was shot shortly after this movie.
Actually, he did die. He did die after this movie. Um, actually, he died. I want to
I'm
say he died
glad
in
he didn't die before the movie and we were watching a ghost. But yeah.
he died in 2015.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually through this movie. This guy was his name is Robert Harris, and he was a lifelong actor, believe it or not, stage actor. And it was only through Cabin Fever that he finally got his SAG card, his Student Actors Guild card, like a card carrying member.
Screen Actor Guild, I think.
Oh. and
He might have been a student actor, but okay, yeah. Lifelong student. Yep.
So he finally earned it after I think he was 72 years old,
Okay,
and
and
he
this
got his
is
SAG card through Cabin Fever. So there are your two winners, Matthew
Dennis.
Helms and Robert Harris. Yeah. Then it's the retard and the racist Santa.
Oh man, we got to save the date for his
Racist.
ballet whenever if he's touring around here.
You could look him up. His name, the actor's name is Matthew Helms. He's a big boy now. He's like 6'2".
Really?
Yeah, he's yeah. The original intent was to not have him display his martial artist, but Eli Roth was so impressed by his physical ability that they actually wrote the pancake scene
Where he got the
so he could show off his skill. I'm not joking.
he got the old Vietnam vet war eyes. He got
But
lost. It's some sort of flashback. But that
pancake, some pancake breakfast.
see that's an example of this movie in a nutshell. It's just like one of these kind of movies where it's just like, oh yeah, let's just go with it. What? You can do karate? What? Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, we'll rewrite it. We'll just throw it in.
Work that into the story. Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of an example of, to me, it feels like, of the process of this movie, which is fun, but not if you have to watch it 4 or 5 times like I. So, time to rate the movies. First of all, do you think it deserves to be rebooted?
I liked it as it was. I mean, it was campy. It was entertaining. It was not scary. I liked it. I liked it the way it was. I don't know where you could go with it unless you were going to try and make it more horror, less comedy
Okay.
for a full release. If you were going to make it more campy, more funny, then it would be straight to DVD. Ernest Goes to Camp style
Oh, nice reference.
release.
Know what I
Nice.
mean? Know what I mean, Vern?
Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, Ernest. Okay, so you would do more horror,
It's the only way I could see it being rebooted.
which is kind of the pulse of the. I mean, I'm not really big into horror. Uh, this will be the 10th time I've said this, but
Hmm.
it seems as though there's not really too many horror comedies coming out. It's more of just like
Straight, yeah. Especially supernatural with the ghost and the devil and
yeah, and like the
possessions.
nanny cam, I guess, sort of
Yeah.
shot.
Well, yeah, Paranormal Activity
Right.
1 through 4, I think now, and
How are those, Brian?
they're just as good as this. They're just as good.
I might go in the other direction if I were, asked what should we do differently.
Hmm.
There's, we're gonna reboot it, no doubt about it, which they have, and I hear it's a scene for scene reshot almost.
Oh wow!
I think they just might update the clothing.
Update the clothing and the skin, and then maybe although if I were rebooting it, I would leave that beach scene where she canoes across the lake and comes across, just like evidence of
It,
perhaps a party.
it should be like the first version of iPod or something.
Exactly.
Like
Where it just
the brick iPod. You're just like, what is this thing?
or a Zune. Just leave the Microsoft Zune there, like so you know who was there.
Right. So I would go in the other direction. I'd go more comedy.
I don't see how you can. How can you? Like they literally worked in. They probably didn't even intend to work in that much comedy. I don't know.
I mean,
You give a guy $1 million and you say, "Hey, make a film."
This is what you
This
get.
movie costs $1.5 million and grossed somewhere in the 30s. So I get it that this was a place of revenue, potential revenue for Hollywood, but I don't think it needs rebooting, and especially if you're going to do scene for scene, unless you're going to update the actress. It's kind of a slap in the face. You think it could have been done better? No, I don't think it could.
All right, all right. Well, I mean, out of a possible, let's say, out of a possible 10 seat kicks, 10 being the worst, how
Or
many
you're just
times?
kicking the whole movie.
Yeah, you're just kicking
Um,
the whole seat or the whole time. Yeah. What would you?
and this might tell you a little something about me, but I don't think I'd kick that much. I'd probably only kick it 3 times because I'd be pretty entertained. This had me at hello because it speaks to my ADD personality.
It had me at hello also with the music coming in and then don't go to college.
Right,
I
right
was
off the
I
bat,
was
bang.
thoroughly intrigued because I've thought about that topic. I mean, if I could
Right.
choose again, would I go to college or would I not? And I'm not unsure about that. But when she said this, I was just like,
That it's a scam. Do you think college is a scam?
I mean, I'm much more literate, which isn't saying much, than I was before, and it was a nice way to do a long-term goal and complete it. But it is a bit of a scam,
Really?
I think. I mean,
Oh, so yeah. Well, I mean, everyone's experience is a little different.
right.
I kind of enjoyed college. All 6 of them that I attended.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed, the college experience. Don't get me wrong. I definitely enjoyed it. Had a lot of, good classes, good professors, but at the same time, it's just it's a money mill.
Oh, sure. Yeah, especially nowadays. I mean, even more now than when we were there.
Yeah, I just
So,
saw Phoenix University, University of Phoenix. What is
hmm yeah, University of Phoenix.
it? That it's losing money, enrollment is down because I think more universities are catching up with that sort of cash grab scheme.
Yeah, yeah. Get them in, get them out.
Yeah, because a lot of colleges are offering just online the same sort of thing.
Yeah, you can go to like University of Arizona State offers, Boston University, New York, NYU offers stuff online now.
So I
But
was I was I was captivated. It got me in the beginning, but then
mhm.
by towards the middle and end, I would have kicked this. I'd give it a 5 kicks.
Okay, so middle of the road. Now, take out the fact that you've seen it now 4 times,
Mhm.
probably within 48 hours,
Uh, okay.
and just the first time. What do you think? What do you think it would be then?
Yeah, it'd probably. I think I liked the movie more the more I saw it. There was some interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I think there was some interesting things. When I first saw it, I just wasn't. I'm just tired of just excess blood. I don't know why. I mean, I just don't understand this trend where we're just getting so inundated, so callous to just like The Walking Dead and stuff.
Mm,
Like,
yeah, kind of. Well, I think they're also trying to outdo each other.
right. And I mean,
If you're gonna
this,
set a name for yourself, you got to stand apart.
and looking backwards, this was definitely uh, moving us in this direction of just everything you see is just blood covered.
Hmm
So I'm just kind of just tired of seeing the blood, and that just got me at the beginning. So at the beginning, it probably would have been more kicks, but I'm gonna just go middle of the road, 5 out of 10 kicks, meaning yeah, it was good, it was okay,
hmm
but yeah, it's definitely not going to be my Christmas movie or my autumn my autumn equinox movie or my harvest movie or something. So that was our credits. Look forward to our reviews in written form. Speaking of college,
Hmm.
I could put words to paper. Yeah, expect that soon. And I guess this moves us to our last part, the final parking lot before we say goodnight, say goodbye, and make our way home or to work or what have you. And I don't have much to add. What about you?
No, good there. Man, a few words.
Yeah, obviously. Wow. All right. All right. What's that rifle for? Don't ask that. Don't
Yeah,
ask
I was
that.
gonna say, nice try trying to trap me. Ain't gonna trap me.
Once again, we are the Seat Kickers. And where can you contact us?
You can contact us online on our website, theseatkickers.com, or you can find us on Twitter at the Seat Kickers, and you can also leave comments at the YouTube channel, the Seat Kickers.
Sounds good. And then finally, you can email us at theseatkickers@gmail.com. Or you can do it old style and take one of those boom boxes and just lift it over your head and point it in the southerly direction. Or if you want to talk to Brian, point it to as east can be.
Go to the water and then head north.
Woulda. Get your canoe. Or you can pick up Brian's canoe at my parents' house.
Ah, don't you dare!
Go down the Delaware, swing back up, pick up another Brian who bought a boat. In reality,
In reality, yeah.
get the
At the end of the
armada,
day,
get the armada going, and go meet Brian by the sea.
it'd be like Mad Max meets Waterworld.
There is dry land. It exists. All right, man. Well, thank you all. Thank you for kicking it with us, and we'll see you soon. Good night.